So ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna be reading predictive processing. Yeah, that's kind of awesome too. So well, that would be fun. So the idea is like yeah, we would be reading predictive processing. As for why I'm so late today is because I wanted to get my RAM updated today in the morning, but it turned out Sunday. I went to the shop, they couldn't get it done. I talked to them. All right, so I just wanted my RAM to kind of like be around 32 GB or something, if not 32, at least 24 by the like But since the morning, I thought it will take 1 or 2 hours to get it upgraded, but it turns out it takes a lot of time. And so yeah, so stream would be slightly laggy. Not the stream actually, stream would be perfect. It's like the applications I run would be slightly laggy because the laptop still is 16. Works on still 16 GB, and like yeah, it shows committed is 14 and like required is 20 GB. So once we got 24 GB of RAM, or if not 24, 32, that means like then everything should work pretty awesome. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna yeah, pretty smooth. Like right now I can feel like as soon as I stream I can feel some lag because of the lack of memory, right? So yeah, and there is some compressor, right? Yeah, so once we got that, that would be actually pretty awesome. That like how everything we're gonna work out then. Yeah. So, but like, yeah, that's gonna be done by tomorrow or maybe the after tomorrow. But now again, we are gonna be reading stuff, right? So you left that encoding in front in Bayesian brain, right? Count for, and this is the topic we were kind of like asking the ChatGPT to explain, right? Neural representation should the hierarchy of predictive processing account prove correct encode probability. And another reason why I got late is because of this fucking wallpaper that took about 10 minutes to find out or something. Right. And it's not the best wallpaper in the existence, right? But there were so many options. They were like discipline and they were like all different kind of stuff. But I like the flower, right? I like the flower too much. It's like all four monitors have like shared now the same similarities. All of them have this flower in the center, which kind of like looks so beautiful, man. Like yeah, the flower looks nice. That's why I got the like yeah. What's stopping? How do I remove this? I can't. Right? I can't remove this. But yeah, I mean, it's like the line means what's stopping you from growing, just like how what's stopping a flower, maybe water, maybe like what's the bottleneck or something. That's kind of like the indicating, the meaning behind that would be most probably, right? Oh, I can definitely feel there's a like. I definitely need, man, I definitely need, if not, what they call like a 24 GB RAM. And like yeah, to be honest, I don't think so 24 GB RAM is just enough, right? I think I would probably gonna even need more, right? Per se, like somewhere about what should I say, like 32. But I'm gonna aim for 24 and convince my dad for the 24. And if I, as long as I have 24 gigs of RAM, I think this should works pretty smooth and efficiently, and Steam and everything that I'm doing, right? And 64 gigs of RAM would be like a really better addition. So not 64, 32. All right, 32 would be a really great addition. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah, I'll convince my dad to get 32 gigs of RAM. Once that is done, our setup would be kind of awesome. All right, so then we would have literally everything that is needed to be there to actually have a great setup or something. I'm not gonna lie at this point, right? So yeah, because right now the biggest problem with my setup is it's kind of, well, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of slightly laggy, right? It's like especially when I like open up all these tools. Like if I go to Task Manager, you will realize like the more the tool or tabs I open up, like the committed, like yeah, so now the committed reaches about 16, right? But it cannot have that. So it easily requires 24 GB. Like I'm not kidding. Like if I like all the tabs, if I open up all the different things in ID and stuff like that, the committed would like yeah, that's right now it shows 16, but it's not using that because it's kind of like keeping some available. And like yeah, this also speed is not the best. We're gonna need a 3200 MZH or whatever they call it. All right, so memory is definitely a very big bottleneck right now, especially when it comes to encoding and yeah, stuff like that. So even at 24 gigs of like a GB storage or RAM, right, RAM would be very big of an upgrade, right? Because then you can directly use 20 GB. That's like 8 GB more out of the box that I would be using right now and everything. And if I do multitask, like yeah, that's like yeah, But I would say 32 is like the something. 32, as soon as I get 32 gigs of RAM, man, that's just like a beauty, man. That's just beauty. That just makes everything smooth for the next couple of years without even have to ever worry about the RAM being a bottleneck or anything like that, or per se, right? But that's for later. Let's go back to our chat GPT right now, and I think like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get it done yesterday morning by hook and crook. Like, yeah, at least 24 gigs of RAM, no matter what, right? Because like the days when I like, yeah, open up Android IDE and all the different kind of stuff, and then after that is done, maybe in 1 or 2 months I'll get like 32 gigs of RAM, right? So yeah. So both of them would be done. Like, yeah, but right now the 24 would be a major upgrade, which will get a lot of things done, right? So yeah. So what was the last thing we had? Bane has multi-level. Ah, yeah. Okay, disconnected. What? Why? Okay, it's connected again, right? Yeah, it's connected. So first of all, I am gonna get 24 gigs of, like, and check if everything is running and how much there is committed and stuff like that. And after that, because like I think 2 or 3 GB is just used by the monitor, I think I need to aim for 32. If I can get all of that under 20,000, that would be like a banger or something, man. Oh, it shows disconnected again, man. The network is kind of unstable, which is a problem. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the local shop tomorrow. If the local shop doesn't work out, I'm gonna buy like a RAM, and yeah, that would make tomorrow too. We have to work with the laggy software for the next couple of days. We have to work with the laggy, everything laggy. But after that, I think once I've got 32 gigs of RAM, like, yeah, there is like a RAM of like which is just cost 9,000 or something, which is kind of like not expensive. Like, yeah, so everything we done under 20,000 or something, which would be really awesome for us, right? I don't want to make everything really expensive, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, encoding inference, and maybe I should order them or something. Like, it's 12, but okay, yeah. Encoding inference in the Bayesian brain. Neural representation. Should the hierarchy of predictive processing in account of proof correct encode probability density fluctuations in those forms, right? Man, it's really laggy. I'm not gonna lie. I need 32. Like, I don't think so 24 would be enough. 24, like, a lot of lag would be removed. I'm not gonna lie. Right, but even if like a lot of lag would be removed, the problem is like it still is not enough for everything to, what they say, work optimally. Right, that's the biggest problem we have. Even if you remove the lag, it's not gonna work optimally. Right, when I use Android IDE and everything, like, yeah, it's gonna, like, this system right now, which is like reading system, would be perfect. Right, reading system, recording system, streaming, and everything would be perfect with 24, but I need 32. I mean, I would easily hit about 26 or 28 gigs of RAM when I'm like doing Android IDE and something, and maybe even sometimes 30 gigs of RAM with opening so many tabs, and I would definitely need 32 gigs of RAM, man. Yeah, I need to aim for 32, but at the first we're just gonna aim for 24. Let's see if if I'm able to convince my dad for 32. If I'm not, then I'll just go for the 24, and 1 or 2 months later we'll go with the 32. Because like right now I bought monitors too, like 3 monitors. I bought 3 monitors. I bought entire mic. I'm on, like, the entire expenses comes around in just last 1 month. So entire expenses come around 60-70,000, which is about $800 or $900 or something, right? So of course my dad is not like reluctant to buy even more, like, yeah, stuff for me, right? Because like, yeah, there's so many, and that's just like, yeah, there's then hardware, and then I gotta, oh man, I'm kind of wasting my dad's, not wasting but investing. It's like, I think what is like, and a building system takes a lot of time. I'm not gonna lie. Building systems takes a lot of time. Like this is a real thing. I mean, wherever you're starting with, it doesn't really matter. Like, whatever you start with or whatever you're doing, like, at the start, everything you try to build takes a lot of time, and over time it gets easier, right? So right now we are building a streaming system, learning system, like everything, like, yeah. So that those systems takes time. Takes a lot of time. That means like, but once they're built, they don't actually cost that much. Right. So like once it's built for a couple of years, there's no cost. Like for at least I can say 3 years. Right, 3 to 4 years, I don't have to worry about the mic or the camera. I think like that's literally the redundancy. So after that, it may like some problem appears, and then you kind of fix them. So for 3 to 4 years, there's no real cost that's gonna come to your bank account or something if everything is done right now. Like if we stream for the next 3 or 4 years, so that's like literally how everything functions. It's like at the start they cost a lot. Right, that's one. And then I have health system, but my health system costs about, like I would take a yearly membership, right, and then it only costs about 2,500 rupees per month. Right. So that's like a diet. That's how much like a diet cost about, and that's like about $10 to $20 a month, 20 to $25 a month. That's like what my diet costs. All right. So once we also have like, yeah, that's something I cannot ever reduce, because like the cost of food can never be reduced, right? Like, yeah, this is over the normal diet that people have. So I think that is the only cost when it comes to sustaining gym. And after that, like, yeah, you have like again $25 a month or something for the gym membership too, right? But then you have a, like, I'll this time I'm gonna, like, once my membership and I'm gonna go for yearly subscription, and that kind of like you can get that same thing in half the price or something. So that's gonna be insanely valuable. Like, you know, that's going to be insanely valuable. And there's so many stuff that I'm building, right? So yeah, I mean, at the start everything costs a lot, and there's a subscription of Flow I want, and also there's subscription ship of like I'm gonna get like my DAND account linked. So yeah, Flow and Google what they call the Google Gemini premium version, right, which costs about 6,000 a month or something, which is insane. But I'll never be actually, yeah, let's just not go with that right now. I'll go with that when I really have the money to go with that one day, right? So yeah, we have to wait a lot for everything to function right now. But yeah, I'll definitely go for that, aim for that. And like, but yeah, Flow, as for Flow, we can just like kind of like get with GPT, like, you know, for now. But yeah, you are starting to see like everything that kind of like comes together or something, right? So yeah. And I wouldn't say like Flow is the best thing. Like, it sometimes, if not a lot of times, gets my wording wrong, encoding, inference, and Bayesian, right? Neural busy. Yeah, stop. Yeah, let's go back to reading. Computation that results in perpetual judgments or motor behavior taken into account density available. I just need 3 years of redundancy. After that, I just need things to not break for 3 years. Why? Because after that, I'll have my own money to actually like, yeah, within in 3 years. So I just need this laptop to go with me or work with me for next 3 years, right? This is my like probability. Like, yeah, I'm kind of like getting probabilities analysis. Like, yeah, once 3 years are done, I can just replace everything, because I would have enough redundancy and money to actually buy all the different kind of stuff I want. Perpetual judgment. That's still concern how well a system deals with uncertainty. Wait a sec, my mom's calling. Yeah, she was talking about certain specific stuff, which is not really that important. This is increasing through mostly indirect stable evidence. A biological system approximate in multiple domain. The behavior profile is understood to take just minute. It's optimal percepts. Mechanism. How prediction, what is exactly represent? Until now, the story was the brain predicts sensory input, prediction error updates the model. What is the actual, not facts, not, it stores probabilities. That's exactly what Bayesian brain does. This is one of the biggest conceptual jump in the book. Old view of the brain. The old view was almost like a computer database, object stocks, distance 5, 1 answer 1. Here, the Bayesian brain says, I'm never completely certain. Instead of storing dog, it stores something like dog 75 also need. No, okay, multiple it holds simultaneous probabilities for the same thing, but it never feels like that. Okay, I think we got our one concurrent view, which is Nico the AG Pro, most probably. Hello, but if that's you, could you say hi in the chat? Right, so it goes on like, yeah, we actually, the probability density. Okay, it was someone else who left, yeah. Clark talks about probability density function. How far is that tree? Finished. Vision unlikely, likely. Density functions. Humans rather than Bayes optimal in an absolute sense. Mechanism. Fine in general is not that we humans are rather stunningly Bayesian optimal in some absolute sense, responding correctly relative to absolute uncertainty in the stimulus, but rather that we are often optimal or near optimal as taking into account the uncertainties that certain that we actually command, the information that is made available by the forms of seeing and processing. The weight of different cues according often varies sort of concept. On the basis of evidence, it kind of like, yeah. Yeah, my mom's irritated. Yeah, man, there's so many different problems, man, in life. But yeah, this is what Bayesian theorem formalizes. It says new belief will when an adaptive idea until you know it, this is preferred. It's like brain is already designed to actually tackle a uncertain. This is, of course, there's a fact the system. We very like yeah, recent work. Yeah, of course, the mere fact that a system response profile takes this kind of shape does not, and you can demonstrate the system is implying some form of reason. Yeah. Reasoning. And okay, I need to set my phone on to not fuck everyone. Yeah, now everyone is fuck off. Right, so yeah. And let me look up the table simplify so see accuse the response cloud. Well, the same behavior reciprocates as the Bayesian optimal system. Nonetheless, the predictive process story, if correct, would rather directly underwrite the claim that the nervous system approximates a genuine version of Bayesian inference. Some recent electrophysical studies has led strong support of this birth response signature for the Bayesian of the unpredicted surprise father, suggesting that the brain codes and computes weighted probabilities. Summing up these studies, authors conclude our electrophysics suggests that the brain acts as a Bayesian observer, i.e. that it might adjust probabilistic internal states believed about hidden state in a model of sensory in a probabilistic generative model of sensory data. Getting the gist. I think, yeah. Probability to show reality possibilities. Now we need to send more data to the organism, which is damn, why it's so laggy. It's so laggy. I need 24 gigs of RAM. Trust me, I need 24 gigs of RAM. And I need this maybe before tomorrow's live stream. Like, yeah, I need this as early as possible, man. This is like so laggy. Or the another better option is to not use. But I think like yeah, this 2K monitor also computes like yeah, it requires so much load on my RAM, right? Loading all this. Like I can bet if I didn't had like a better like GPU NVIDIA and GeForce this like everything would have been like not even possible in the first place. It uses 55% of its capacity. It's like it's for it to run 4 models simultaneously. So I am finally using my graphic card, which doesn't used to even get used in the past. And if I just like yeah, if I just disconnect multiple monitors, look what happens, guys. If I just disconnected multiple monitors, it may go black. Like everything may go slightly, but look like how quickly. Wait, what? Okay, my OBS looks like a bitch right now, right? So everything's working functionally and optimally, right? Now you'll see that the video encode still is high. Oh my gosh, dedicated. Okay, It didn't got decreased. That's something I didn't predict it. It's still encoding. Okay. Ah, because HDMIs are connected. Okay. If I disconnect the HDMI or something, maybe then it would stop encoding, right? Or what? But yeah, it still encodes though. That was not expected. This definitely falls down, but yeah. And what my memory? Okay, my memory also falls down. Right, but if I connect multiple monitors again, let's see. I've connected them again. It will take a couple of seconds for them to start running. Okay, now they start running. Okay, like 2 monitors takes about like it was 11 point something, now it's 2. So it's almost 1.5 GB, right? And now memory encoding. Okay, I just like okay, can I not go back and past? But yeah, memory encoding dedicated CPU memory shared. GPU is still stable. Wi-Fi. Okay, my Wi-Fi is kind of bad right now, but yeah. We have disk, which is already optimal, but memory, like yeah, the memory like demands increase a lot when you connect multiple monitors or something, right? It's like yeah, we need more RAM, we need more RAM, we need more RAM. Again and again, same thing. Like especially when we are streaming. But if I add more RAM and even when I'm streaming, it still lags. That means it's like the wavelength works really bad when you're streaming. That's something that I can already conclude. That means I have to adapt to that thing, right? And that is like the next thing is like what they call getting the gist. And now it's predictive processing in the brain. But then again, even if that is like even if the monitors are still laggy, the laptop in itself, when I open up multiple things, would now be laggy. So that is like more than what we gain, right? So yeah. Once updating the RAM doesn't function, then we just need to look at the software and how it's encoding the thing, and then we can know like yeah. That is a big topic in Silence Golden. Okay. Yeah, what does he say here then? But I think, man, it's so laggy. It doesn't feel good. As soon as I stream, it doesn't feel good. When I'm working, data overview, no. Let me just check if I can internally update something or not. No. I think your diagnosis is a constant CPU. Can increase roughly 2 GB, but I think yeah, display link is component. My confidence ranking, display Windows composition, GPU desktop composition, OBS, Verilon. So yeah, display link and Windows desktop composition. Okay, ChatGPT, before I get like 16 GB of RAM, which like so ChatGPT, before I upgrade my RAM to 32 GB, I mean, like there's this display link and Windows desktop composition, right? I mean, how about we check that? Like wavelength work really well when I'm not streaming or something, but when I'm streaming, something happens and it lags definitely a lot more compared to when I'm not streaming, right? So like, how can we like check that and like know what's actually causing the problem, right? And fix that if it's fixable, Like yeah, how should we connect like the display link and the Windows desktop composition in a way that leads to betterment, here. Check if this actually culprit exact same workload twice. Ah, it's saying okay, use the same workload. Use the same workload. Okay. Wait a sec. Use the same workload. That means add GPT. Add couple more tabs for ChatGPT. This is something what we generally do, like add Open Android IDE, right? Open anti-gravity. I mean, this is what we normally use, right? Like this is how much you add like a YouTube tab and add like anything I want, right? So I think here everything is like, functioning fine. All right, so we also open up Android IDE. Now we go to now everything is kind of functioning all right. Like, can we just take this tab? Okay, now display link is like literally lagging too much. But here on the main display, everything goes on. But here, display link functions when if there is surplus RAM left. Display link. Now it's like my computer. I mean, if I go to Task Manager, right, it may not like even 16 gigs of RAM. I'm telling you, not everything is used right now. Okay, it's kind of laggy. I can just pretty much say that myself. I'm not gonna lie about it being laggy. All right. Okay, we got some chat. All right. So. The reason for streaming late today is because, buddy, I went to a local store because I wanted to like update the my RAM before before even streaming today, but I couldn't get that done because I did actually went to the store and the store was like getting closed. Like yeah, they were there just for the morning for a couple of hours, and I did have talk with them and they said like they would do it tomorrow or something. All right, so I'm gonna like see right now. I'm like this is my setup for like building like this is how many tabs I open up, and if you can see here, like it's lagging. Like the memory, like the CPU is getting used definitely, but it's not getting 100% used. The GPU is getting used too, right? But one of the biggest, if the memory increases, the CPU would be used less, and you know, yeah, like over time, CPU is getting less used because like it spiked, the activity spiked when I started opening up the apps, but I need memory. Like it's the entirety of my memory is being used, right? So like yeah, I need to upgrade my RAM or something. Secret how you're so fast to talking and look so energetic. Well, sleep well, eat a lot of food, I suppose, go to gym. I don't know. But yeah, it's still way less laggy, but on my different monitors, too laggy. That means display link functions the best. Or multiple monitors like functions the best if you like what they say. Uh if you have some surplus RAM left. I see, I see. So if I don't have any surplus RAM for the display link to function well. And display link requires some but here everything kind of functions on the main tab. Everything's still functioning pretty well. It's not like it's too much laggy. Right, it's still functioning. Right, but it's only the multiple display that are lagging because it's not okay. They are functioning too. This is functioning too. Actually, this is functioning. This is okay. There's definitely some lag even in the but everything is functioning, but the only thing that is not functioning is the display link are lagging. On the main screen, everything's functioning pretty optimally. I opened up so many unnecessary tabs. Yeah, this is unnecessary. Load. And today I thought you were still sleeping because it's Sunday, lol. No, no, no. I did woke up early, but I just wanted to get my memory fixed just in the morning. Right, that's why I couldn't sleep early in the morning. Depleted EAD while sleeping. What CPU, GPU, memory? Suddenly loses. Okay, ChatGPT, I did open up all different kind of applications, and I did realize that I think it's RAM again. But the thing is, display link requires high RAM for to function optimally. What I did realize, if if there's enough RAM, like if I stop streaming, the streaming in itself consumes a lot of RAM. Like right now, like yeah. So streaming in itself consumes a lot of RAM, I guess. Right. So that's what I realized is like streaming in itself consumes a lot of RAM, not rank, sorry, RAM, and the display link requires it. Like when I stop streaming, it's not that the display link starts to function better. It's like there's surplus RAM for it to function better. See what I'm saying? That's why it's function better. When there's like I do not open up, it's not because of like the in itself. It's because like it needs a lot of surplus RAM to function. But when I open so many things, it stops having that RAM or the power it requires to actually function better. Yeah, we need to fix that. Yeah, but that's because maybe you had a better, like, you had a 3080 graphic card, first of all, and you were streaming games, and streaming game is different than streaming a lot of things. Because right now, like, when you are streaming this, like, a lot of GPUs are not used, right? It's like it constantly uses memory and it caches that out. Like, you can see committed and stuff like that. So it's definitely the RAM that is the bottleneck. Yeah. And even if like RAM is not the bottleneck, the main thing is like I still need more RAM because I need to do more productivity. So 24 RAM would not gonna hurt at all. If brain is gone, how does perception begin? Suppose you suddenly open your eyes, does the brain first recognize something else happen? Someone blindfold you, they remove the mind. Just think you don't think they're too friction. Everything you often think looks like a kitchen. This feels like a city. You get the gist, not the details. By getting the gist, pull reality from tiny pieces upward. Or so imagine the hierarchy scene, objects flat, just pixels. No, that system rapidly forms a guess about the whole scene and then uses that guess to interpret the details of this blurry picture. Imagine someone shows this to you. How's that a dog? Yeah, that would be more. Yeah, who knows? I'm still gonna update the RAM and see everything funks out. And ChatGPT is also pointing towards RAM. Gemini, I also checked the same thing with the Gemini in the morning, and it also said that it is RAM. So there's a high chance that it is RAM, buddy. Right, and even if it's not, higher RAM doesn't hurt having a higher RAM, right? And I'm not ignoring the anything. It's just that I'm, reading something. So I do not know if you type anything in chat, right? It takes time to come back to it. So yeah, sometimes you'll have to wait. The incoming pixels haven't changed the path. This clock describes the sequence many competing. Oh, that hurts. Uh, During an early stage of processing, a PP system will avoid committing itself. Often be initial theory of error signals. That narrows the state space or something. The past memory is generative, right? So I wake up at the same time these days. I'm trying to wake up as early as 8, right? Though, like, sometimes I kind of, yeah. Sometimes I kind of not able to do that. But yeah, I do try to wake up at the consistent time or something. Yeah. And I sleep at 11 or 12, right? So I kind of like sleep for 8 hours a day. Not just suddenly. Kana and some randomized for input delivered for processing. So there's a. Yeah, this is what they do not kind of like tell the children. Is that how a brain predicts, right? So. Why do I think like it's the book is getting repetitive to some degree, though it's not getting repetitive at all. He's hammering different things by the same thing. Just and refined to like even without stimulus, you're predicting. Like yeah, there's so many small details about the like yeah the book. Multiple hypotheses, the hypothesis gets selected. There's multiple probability to different things. You have context breaks. That means the can link that if there's this and then there's that and then there's this. Like that's good. So context kind of like information, and then your brain constantly try to reduce uncertainty about the current states and about that and about the people that's like yeah a part of it, and then you'll be trying to research. Little indirect evidence of predictive processing by the brain in the form of conceptual stimulations that produce and explains observed. And how do I get them like a screenshot or something, right? There's definitely some headspace, but there's definitely not much headspace. Yeah, 11. Oh, okay. So it decreases by specifically by 1 GB if you disconnect wavelength. Mm-hmm. 1 GB of headspace free just from removing wavelength. Now you have like a really what they call awesome. I think adding more RAM is not gonna fix the problem, but we are still gonna add more RAM because what else do we got to do? What else like yeah, and I'm gonna close off the stream later. Yeah, we are canceling the stream today, just in 1 hour because like I have to go eat and then I'm gonna start the stream again in afternoon. Okay, guys, so it's like 2 times streaming today. Yeah, bye. I have to test something too, and yeah.